Hey guys! Hi guys, everybody. OuterOrange here. Hope you guys are doing great in the world right now with everything going on. We are here with another Vanguard video. And in case the mat isn't given away, it's going to be a Bermuda Triangle video. And I have noticed that a lot of people are not doing this variant as much as normal. So I thought of making a video on it because I've been playtesting this deck and I've been having fun with it while in quarantine. And I thought I'd share with you guys my deck profile of Bermuda Triangle Melodies. Of course, this is before the release of the Grade 1, so chances are this deck will probably change until then. But in the meantime, I've been having fun with this deck, and I thought I'd share with you guys what it's like to have a melody deck right now in 2020 after the unban of Wazelet, Choco Lover Girl, the Grade 2. So we're going to go right into it. I'm going to just explain the video a little bit. I'm going to show you guys a deck profile, and I'm also going to show you guys some tactics behind the deck profile and why I specifically picked the cards I did, because there are other options to this deck, and I'll explain that as we go. Just you don't have to specifically do it the way I have it. There are other ways to approach the deck. It's just the way I approach it, and that's the fun part about Bermuda Triangle, is that you can build a deck in so many different ways. But anyways, we're gonna start with our Grade 3s. Obviously, this is a melody deck. You're going to want melody cards. So obviously you're going to want some sonatas in here. I'm trying to find a focus here where you guys can see the cards pretty well. But you're going to want to run sonata. I run 3. The reason why I run 3 is because you need a lot of variety, or a lot of like Grade 3s in this deck. And if you're going to want to have a lot of Grade 3s, you kind of need to find a focus point of when to stop. And also there are searchers, and there's a way to search melody units, so it's not the end of the world. Like, you don't have to run 4. I have yet to come across a problem where I don't have melody cards or I don't have Grade 3s. I don't recall ever G-assisting on my Grade 3 turn with the current support of melody cards. But so I haven't had any problems, or just in general not having trouble finding my units. But yeah, so we run 3 copies of Colorful Pastorelle Sonata. Then we also run 3 copies of Caro. And the Colorful Pastorelle Caro. This card is very good. It gets you to boost, and we'll talk more about these cards as I go. But yeah, you want 3 copies of this. She searches herself. You don't really need 4. You can, like I said, it's up to you. I like to put it at 3. And then going on, I like to run 3 copies of Colorful Pastorelle Fina for the intercept protection in case I'm going against other Force clans who also like to bash 50,000 K in the face. I like the protection of having this card. And last but not least, one of my weird favorite staples of this deck is actually, can't really see her as well here, but it's Colorful Pastorelle Serena. This card, of course, you're only going to want 1 copy. She's not mandatory to use at all times because she counterbusts 3, but this is a very good card to have in your deck as an extra toolbox. So definitely something you're going to want at least 1 of, and that's I got the pretty one because they're actually not that expensive right now. But yeah, so that ends the Grade 3s, and onto the Grade 2s. We of course have the main rush of the deck, and that is Choco Love Heart Lizelot. Very strong, very good cards. So I'm trying to find a way so you guys can really see the cards specifically. Maybe that's a little better. But anyway, so we have Lizelot here. A very good card, counts as a Grade 1. She used to be banned. She's not banned now. It makes the melody deck work so much better than how it did. Definitely want 4 of. And then next we have, and I'm gonna probably show you guys all of these at once because I do this a little differently than the next person. But with the Grade 2 melody units that came out recently, I do 2 of the Canon, 2 of the Serena, 2 of the Sonata, and 2 of the Fina. And to kind of explain this a little bit, they all have really good reasons for why I have them. Intercept, hand advantage, power, shredding hands. So and I'll explain this more as I go. But yeah, 2 of each of these is how I've been keeping it, and I'll explain more why I keep them at 2 and not 3 or lower. And then also, I don't run Caro because the Grade 3, wherever she may be right now, the grade 3 Soul Blast 2, and then if you want to get another card out, and then the grade 2 does the same thing as she Soul Blasts as well. So that's a lot of soul to go through, and I'll explain more why. It's not worth it at the very moment, in my opinion, to run a lot of the Karos, specifically the grade 2 ones. I think the grade 3 is the better version with this deck in particular, but that's the grade 2s. And then we're going to go to our grade 1s. I'm going to show you guys the staple first. So actually, honestly, all of these cards are kind of a staple, but primarily we got this girl, which is Top Star Seer. Very, very good card. Just to give you guys a better visual here, this is a very good card. This is very strong. I think this card makes the clan, at least with the melody specifically, even better right now. It's a searcher. You Soul Blast 1 for it, you search for a melody card. The chances of you not getting a melody card are almost non-existent. You're always going to find something. It's so worth the cost. This is what makes melody units so much easier to play now than it used to be. And then next, I run 4 copies of Rainy Tear Steza. I think this is an amazing card. It's another one of my, actually just all the grade 1s are like, I love all the grade 1s in this clan, at least for this variant. I absolutely adore this. I think this card's really good too. You draw essentially for free if you boost a Vanguard, and you can draw again if you put a grade 3 from your drop zone into the bottom of your deck. So you get 2 draw for a counterblast and a retire. I think it's very worth it. I know some people don't run her as much now, but I think she's still a really good card. And then I run 3 of Special Message Kiora, I think her name is, or I'm sorry if I'm butchering these. This is a really good card. This is a really good ride card, actually. It's the best as a ride. Of course, I run 3 just because I want to fit more grade 3s, and I mean, she's not like mandatory. The other ones are obviously rear guard units, so of course you're going to want to ride this over the other stuff, but sometimes it happens. This card, you draw a card, discard a card. You don't want this card late game. This is definitely an early game card, and that's why I like this game. I like this card at 3. But yeah, that's it. And then for the triggers, got it pretty basic. We got the 4 heals, and I have all different arts, so don't mind that. I got the 4 crits, and then we got the drop PGs, of course. And if you want, you can change out the grade 1s and go with grade 1 PGs. It'll make it a little bit harder with the synergy of the deck, but it is possible. I know that these are currently very expensive, so if you want to do a little bit different. But that's pretty much the entire deck profile. And of course, I like to be a memer, and I go the Riviere starter, just because people think I go Riviere, and I'm like, oh, just kidding, it's Melody. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the deck profile. And just to kind of explain a little bit with synergy of how it works, ideally, what you normally do is you want to, of course, ride, put this in anywhere, preferably probably here somewhere, Soul Blast, search for whatever you need, and this is like essentially, oh, whoops, so you guys can't see that, let me put it on this side. Search whatever you need with this card, because this is your searcher, and usually this is what you utilize the most. So when you're searching, you're going to want to search for whatever you're going to need. If you're not going against someone who's aggressive, you might want to pick up Fina. So Fina gains your intercept values, so you can intercept her higher. Say you know that they're going to be a protect clan and they're going to be taking their time, then hello, you might want to go more for Sonata, you know what I mean? Or say you don't have grade 3s in your hand, you're going to want to pick up some grade 3s. That's what's really cool about this card, is it definitely gets you rolling in what you're trying to search for based off what's in your hand. Another thing that's really cool about this card is, say your Vanguard is currently Sonata, and you really, you know, when you activate Sonata's skill, it's Counterblast, Soul Blast, reveal all the cards until you find a melody unit. So you want to activate this skill first, right? Filter it out a little bit, get whatever you need, and then activate this, so that way you have more of a chance of hitting what you're actually looking for. So I like to kind of synergize these quite a bit. Really good synergy with this. And then another one of my favorites to do is guard with the grade 3, and then use these skills when I swing to put this into, to retire this, get 2 draw out of it, and my hand size is suddenly like 6-7 again after a drive check and everything. I really like this combination. And then another combination, obviously, you're always going to want your, for strategy purposes, you're always going to want this out in your field at some point. Very awesome combination. And then another thing that I want to talk about is the grade 2s. For those who may be questioning my lineup. So the grade 2s, the reason why I go 2 copies of each is because of the searcher. Ideally, you don't really need to go more or less because you have the searcher. And the searcher, you'll usually see these cards. You probably will search maybe 1 to 2 times per game. You always search once because chances are the card will probably pop up in your hand somehow. But like I was explaining earlier, this is great. Like, you're searching, you don't know what you want. Say you already have the grade 3s you need. You want more power, this works with everybody. You want more intercept, this works with her. And if you have Fiend on the board, she becomes 25. K intercept, which is what are those, protect 2 numbers? Like, that's great. I love this. This card, another favorite of mine, when an attack hits Vanguard, if your hand is 4 OS, you draw a card. This is the better version in a sense of the grade 3 one. Unfortunately, she doesn't have the special skill, but this is awesome. Like, say you just got destroyed and you have to defend and defend and defend, and then you find this card through your searcher, you draw into this or whatever, you put this down, and you're forcing the opponent to have to guard like crazy, or just take this and let you draw for free. Because this is completely free, all it has to do is hit. This card is very weird, very good card though. If you're on Force 2, this gets very annoying. People have to soul charge, and if your Vanguard is a melody unit, they have to block this attack with 2 or more cards. So people either have to take 2 damage to the face, or they have to block this. If you have a Caro in the back boosting this, this gets very powerful in numbers, very high. If you have Sonatas on your board, this entire column gets very big. You put this on a Force 2 and people start getting very scared. Really good combination. I think this toolbox is what I like to call it. Just a toolbox of melody units just works very, very flawlessly. Just to kind of, you have so many options, and as you're playing the game and as you're searching, as you're looking for things and finding what you need, you kind of start thinking about all your different options of what you want to do with your melodies. And lastly, I did want to talk about her specifically. This card is definitely a really good just-in-case card. Say you're at 3 counter boss, you just got hit really hard, you're at the very end, you're at 5 damage, your opponent's at 5 damage. This lets you counter boss 3 and return 3 melody units from your drop zone to your hand. So typically, normally when my games go, I'm like running out of breath, I'm talking a lot. Normally when my games go, chances are these two will somehow fall into the drop zone. And obviously because you're usually intercepting with these, because you can intercept with them, and then you can make other units intercept. So chances are you will have melody units in your drop zone, or you can soul blast melody units out, which will also end up being in your drop zone, and then you counter boss 3 out of this, and they're back in your hand. And if you have a Fiend on the board, well, later on, if you have a Fiend on the board, if you have something like this on the board, this is your Vanguard, this is your rear guard. If you use this ability and you bring 3 rear guards to your hand, they activate with her skill of the intercept concept, so everything gets 10k. It's amazing. Now, of course, there are downsides to this entire deck, and that is anything that can bind or remove or retire. Obviously, if your units are retired, you're going to struggle more with this type of clan, but that's just something to keep in mind of when to put your units out and when not to put your units out, and I can discuss that more probably in another video of just how melody units work. I kind of just wanted to explain the deck profile and why I chose what I chose for the clan. This particular deck definitely whips out huge numbers. I always go, almost always, it's really rare when I go Force 1, but you almost always go Force 2 on these. Behind this, these get very, very high in numbers. The only time you ever want to go Force 1 is if you just happen to have like the crappiest game of your life and you just barely have any melody units. You didn't get your main targets, which is of course these 2. If you don't have your main targets, if you don't have any way to boost with your melodies, of course you're not gonna be wanting to go Force 2 with like an 18k base, because if you have one of these and you don't have your booster, you're only gonna be swinging at the highest is like 20. So of course Force 1 is the better option at that point because you still want your numbers. But Force 2 definitely, if you have the full board, is where it's at with this clan. And that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much else to say. You can use this card for filtering mechanics too, but I personally don't like to do this late game. I just kind of feel weird. I draw into a heal or something, and I'm like, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. This card late game is amazing. Draw potential. There's so many ways to draw, so many ways to guard, so many ways to do things in this clan, like in this specifically, like this deck right now. It's absolutely amazing. And the grade 1s are coming out soon. Hopefully, it keeps getting delayed. I cannot wait to see that come out and see this whole deck shine even higher with all the melody potential units that we might be getting with it to work with the current melody cards. But anyway, guys, so that's really all I had for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I did have someone ask about my sleeves last time I did one of these, and so this in particular is a Melody sleeve, and then it has the Dragon Shield matte over it, for those who are wondering. But yeah, guys, if you guys need more information, you can comment below. You can talk to me if you also have some kind of Melody units. Nobody talks about Melody anymore. Everybody talks about Riviera and Pacifica and Coral, but nobody talks about Melody. I think this deck is really good right now. Just personally, I've been playing on the CFA and everything. I think it's a good deck. I think people are really missing out right now, especially with this unbanned. This deck's awesome with this unbanned right now. But you know, everything's weird right now. It's really hard to tell what's going on, and plus Narukami is a thing, and Narukami against this deck is kind of hell. But anyway, guys, I just want to show you guys the profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys liked all the shininess. If you let me know what you guys think about this, please leave comments. I'll gladly talk to you guys. I really love the fact that you guys were so interactive with me in the Grand Blue videos. Keep it up, and I'll be here. Thank you for watching, and peace out, and see you guys next time. And on the right side, you got some videos, something you may like, or something I recently uploaded. Left side, you got the subscribe button. Hit that for more awesomeness and vanguardness from me. And peace out, and do svidaniya.